Hello everyone, happy Monday. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I am sending lots of love to you as well. I wanted to make a little video about breathing today. I think that so many of us were in a crazy, hectic, heavy, intense time, and this last year has definitely been very, very heavy for me and really intense as far as the mental health goes. Anxiety like crazy, panic attacks one after another, and it hasn't been until recently that I've had some relief and that I feeling strong enough to get back into my practice. And so I wanted to share some things that have just really helped me in my journey, and that one of those things is breathing. And I do want to start doing little videos. I tried to do a podcast. My phone storage was like, not today. What are you doing? We don't have room for this. So I scrapped that, but I figured why not do a little videos, maybe weekly or bi-weekly, and just kind of talk about just little approaches that maybe can help us all. And maybe some won't, and that's totally okay. Your journey is so special and sacred to you. So I feel like whatever resonates is totally meant to find you or meant to be with you. And if not, that's okay too. We each have our own timing, right, of life, like how we learn things and how we grow with things. It's so sacred to each of us. So I hope this resonates. If not, like I said, totally cool. Let me get a sip of coffee. Also, I'm on a very squeaky bench. I have to sit on a bench because, my veins are still growing, and I realize sometimes when I sit on the floor for too long, and I just meditated, so I was on my legs, so sometimes that blood flow is a little harder to get down there. So, sitting up is good for me. When I do these videos, I realize, so I'm gonna start doing that. Also, I made a backdrop with my honey's old tapestry. And it's in the bedroom, so it's kind of, I feel like it's good because in case my fur babies try to come up in these videos, which they always do, they can exist down here to where, because they're cute, okay, and they get distracting. Love them. But yeah, so so hopefully we can start doing these, and I hope they help and resonate. But back to breathing. So the reason I'm very passionate about breathing in general is, for one, it was one of the first tools I learned from my naturopath a little over 4 years ago now, that I've been on this holistic lifestyle. But I was at a time where, it was my vasculitis was bad, mental health was really bad, I was just in a really bad relationship, just a lot of things. And so he really helped teach me how to breathe properly, how to take in that life force and to really utilize it, so that I could basically become strong enough to where I felt like I could then approach life in a healthier way. And so that's just one thing that has always stayed with me. And he's taught me a lot of things, but I'll never forget the breathing techniques. And there's something that I really use a lot. And but with this last year, I definitely was not focusing on my breathing at all. I wasn't intentional with it. I was having a lot of panic attacks. And for me, my panic attacks are very just physical. If you go through this similarly, I feel for you. I know we all agree we wouldn't wish it on anyone. It's awful. But I take, it's hard for me to breathe. Basically, when I have panic attacks, I get the heavy chest pains. I have the numbness all over. I feel like I'm just basically losing my life, and it's very, very scary. It's a very disconnecting experience. And so with that, it was just really heavy this last year. Like I've never experienced, to be honest. It's never been that bad. So it was a really tough time. And just with general anxiety, I suffer from that a lot. So I got really heavy this last year. So it was really hard for me. Also, my bench, did I mention it squeaks? So you might hear that. But with anxiety, it just took over my life this last year. And so I didn't really make time for meditating as often as I do. And I didn't take time to breathe. And yeah, and that's okay. I think my anxiety came to teach me a lot this last year, and I'm really grateful for that now. But it was really heavy. But I will say, these last couple months, I think I finally gave myself the permission to get back into practice and to get back into breathing, and it has helped immensely. And I don't know why. I don't trust the earth sometimes when I'm going through it. I don't trust my nature, but just kind of getting back into that place has been really, really awesome. And that's why I just wanted to share some things, and I hope that they help you wherever you are. But so yeah, breathing. It's what it does for me anyways, and what I've noticed it really helps with is like when we're going through something really heavy, whether it's something personal, whether it's with the world, just or big or small, whatever it may be, whatever spectrum it may be, breathing even for 30 seconds, for a minute, or just a couple cycles, it really helps us get back into a more centered place. And what it does is it kind of tricks our mind into thinking that our body's totally fine, right? Because if we can kind of get our body to calm down, then our mind, which I think is like kind of how anxiety works, it's kind of a reverse thing sometimes, but it can kind of trick our mind into thinking like, cool, everything is like awesome. Like I'm getting oxygen, I'm getting blood flow, I'm like in a really good space. Like I don't have that pain. Like this is cool. So then your mind kind of is like, all right, we're good. So it kind of helps kind of do that, kind of helps that build up, you know, it kind of helps calm the building up to our panic attacks and our anxiety. And, or just like if we're, getting into it, we're in a situation where we're really like worried about something that's coming up or anything like that, it kind of helps us at least get to a place where then we can approach the next step. Because this life is moment by moment, you know, and sometimes when we're really worried about something, it's really easy for our minds to go over there before it's even happened yet. But breathing kind of brings us back to this place of like, cool, I'm at least in a chill spot, in a chill moment. How can I then approach this next moment of life or this next thing that's about to happen? And then our minds can kind of, our spirits, I should say, can kind of then speak to us and give us our wisdom that is very true to us, right? And how we can approach a situation. And and that's just what I love about breathing. And I think about as far as like anxiety goes for me, you know, having a panic disorder, like my body has a lot of the times, or what I've learned, I guess, this last year with it is that my body has become so conditioned to have panic. So when it has, because kind of, you know, we become, as we get more and more, we kind of become victims to it. And so it's really easy for our bodies to just be conditioned. It starts its own cycle, and it's kind of like it starts to panic before our mind is even going there at a certain time, you know. And that's kind of what my panic is that my body starts panicking and I'm told everything's cool, but all of a sudden I'm like, and it's what it is that a lot of times our body is just conditioned to feel that way at this point. It's so used to doing that. It's so used to just being in this really fight or flight place that it will go without permission. Like it will just go off. And so I think for me, that's kind of just what it is. And so learning to breathe again and learning to be in this peaceful state before it arises has really helped retrain my body to understand that, like kind of recondition my body basically into a place of peace, you know, into a more calm place. And this doesn't mean you're going to be free of anxiety. It'll come knocking on your door. That is life. But we kind of will have that tool of like, cool, how do I kind of get a hold of this before it gets a hold of me? How do I face it before it tries to kind of cloud all of me? And so breathing kind of really just helps recondition the body. And, you know, if we're going through, for me with my vasculitis, it also helped me to just kind of be one with myself. And then it literally would calm me down to a point where I'd be like, cool, but in this moment I'm having pain maybe, but how can I approach that? How can I understand that I don't need to heal this all right now? How can I learn to just accept where I'm at right now? And that was huge. That was a huge healer for me. That's something I never gave my body permission to do in the whole 9 years of battling with it. And even to this day, I still try to do that with it, particularly in these last few months. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started before I run out of time. But what we're going to do today is box breathing. And box breathing is you're breathing in for 4, you're holding it for 4, you're breathing out for 4, and you're holding it for 4. So I think of it as a box, a square. And you can breathe in for longer and do that, but this is a really, I feel like, easy way to start with it. And like I said, start with what feels comfortable, because when we're taking big breaths in for the first time and possibly ever, it can be really overwhelming, right? We can feel like, damn, I'm getting lightheaded, or this is just too much. So definitely start with a couple cycles and then kind of go up as you can. And you can use this in meditation. It can be your meditation if you just do it maybe a minute or 2 a day. I do recommend doing it every day because it really kind of helps calm that nervous system and just all of that, gets all that oxygen in your body that your body needs to really sustain itself in a really thriving kind of way. So yeah, and another thing before we start is just make sure you're taking in a huge belly breath of air. Your lungs are these nice balloons, so make sure that we're breathing in through our tummy. That might take some practice as well, but I'll show you, and then I'll let you go off into your day and see if it helps you. So I'm going to stand up for this. But what we want to make sure, like I said, is we're breathing in through our tummy. Maybe if I go sideways, put my knee up here. When you take a breath in, you want to make sure this expands like a balloon. So and also breathe in through your nose. I didn't say that yet, but look how amazing. It just gets, it's like getting all this blood going and all this life. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. But I'll do the hand motions with it to maybe help the count. But what we're gonna do is take 4 in through our nose. So hold, out, hold, in, hold, out. Now we'll go through one cycle, and then that should do it for the video today. Okay, ready? And what I like to, you can also think of something beautiful coming, and think of the earth just feeding you this oxygen. Think of all the positivity and love, and then just like visualize yourself letting out maybe the worry about something you have in particular, or that fear or whatever. Kind of feel it leaving your body. So okay, so I have to end this before these 15 minutes are up, but I hope that helps. Please give it a try every day and let me know if it helps you out. I hope it helps you. I'm just sending so much love. May you have a beautiful week and take in all that oxygen that Mother Earth is giving you. I will see you all soon.